Minecraft Bedrock 1.13 is out now, guys. We have FOXES, light blocks, structure blocks, character creator, the hugest changelog that ever existed. Stay tuned and let's check it out. Hey there, guys, Skippy here from Skippy 6 Gaming. Guys, look, FOXES, regular version, no beta letters at the top. That's right, this is the full version of 1.13 out for Bedrock. Guys, the hugest changelog that you have ever seen in your entire life, guys. For this one here, let's go for 777 likes because we waited forever for this. Holy cow. I love how these guys all got in this fenced area I set up for a little bit of viewing stuff later. And yeah, so let's do this, guys. It all starts out with first tweet from J Megaspud. Bang, we knew about this last night. I've seen some people talking about things getting updated in the files on the Xbox Live Club or whatever it is. And we knew it was coming. So in anticipation, I got up early, but then it didn't come bright so early. But either way, it's here now. So let's do this. We're going to go over the changelog, guys. The longest, it's 13 pages in my screenshot world. This is the biggest one we've ever done. This is going to be a long video, guys, over 20 minutes. I do this video because people want to, you know, sit back like a podcast and just listen to every single change in the changelog. I'm going to go through it one by one. If you want to listen, listen. If not, skip to the end of the video when I go over all the little things in the video. But for the most part, people like it like this, and we are going to do it here. So it starts with J Megaspud's tweet. He's always like, yeah, changelog coming out now, bing bang boom. If you want to read the changelog for yourself, just go in the description below. You're more than welcome to check it out. And yeah, so let's go. We're going to start with number one, guys. Get your reading shoes on. So first one here is, let's make my screen bigger because I cannot read these tiny things like that. Bedrock 1.13, and he's ready to go. FOXES, keep your chickens safe and your belongings close, otherwise you'll find them dead and gone, especially come nightfall. FOXES are more active at night and seek shade to sleep during the day. However, if you're patient enough to find feed two of them sweet berries, you can end up with a trusty one. So you gotta breed your own FOXES if you want them to be trustworthy. Brown mushroom, this is gonna be easy. You make an old red mushroom, you strike it by lightning, and yeah, once you have a brown mushroom, you can feed them flowers and use a bowl to harvest suspicious stew. So suspicious stew with different flowers to grant different potions effects for a short period of time. Share the suspicious stew with your friends and see how they will like it. So yeah, Wither Rose, another yet beautiful decorative type jobber. A new scary looking flower that is planted wherever a living entity dies to the wither. Might be useful when crafting suspicious stew. Yes, it is. Item frames can now be placed on the floor and the ceiling. Abandoned villages. So we've seen this in Java edition in my Let's Play recently, actually. So yeah, abandoned villages. I feel like they were here before, but maybe now they're more here. Added a celebration event that occurs if pillagers successfully raid a village. New note block instruments. Make some sweet new jams by placing certain blocks under note blocks. Discover the new instruments: glowstone, hay bale, emerald, pumpkin, soul sand, block of iron, bone block, wool, packed ice, clay, and block of gold. Added 5 dead coral types. Added the light block for map makers. Guys, this is really cool. We'll show you after this one, after we read all of these things. Supports auxiliary data from light 0 to 15 light level. Light blocks are supported via /give, fill, and set block. The invisible end rod variant 6 now automatically updated to the new light block. So basically, you just have a block. You can place it down. It'll add as much light as you want for map makers. Added new in-game chat settings to improve accessibility. Added game credits, a way to see all the lovely people who work on the game. The credits can be viewed after defeating the Ender Dragon and also through a button found in the settings menu. So let's go. Page tree. Character creator. This is a super cool, awesome thing. Personalize your character in a number of ways, including body size and shape, limb replacement and tweaking of eyes, mouth hairstyles and colors, facial hair, skin tones. More than 100 items will be available for free. There will also be a range of custom accessories created by the Minecraft team available for purchase. We're going to look because some of these are super expensive, but we'll check it out. Traditional custom skins can still be imported as before on Windows 10 and mobile using the following steps. So yes, this is a thing. You still can't bring onto your Xbox a custom skin, but you can on Windows 10 Edition and on MCPE. So experimental gameplay. So When you have experimental gameplay turned on, this is going to be able to allow you to have a few the cool stuff. So new improved structure blocks. So I'll show you that stuff too. I have it in my hotbar right here. Structure blocks give creators the ability to copy and save out sections of the world into structures. Saved structures can be then pasted back into the world. So you just copy areas and then, make a house once, and then you can pop, put a bunch of houses in. To get a structure block, you must use the /give command. When a structure is being loaded in, it can also be mirrored or rotated. Structure void blocks can be placed in an area to not copy air into that area. See how to play game for more details and tips. So that's pretty cool. Let's keep going. We're going to go on to the next page. And yeah, another too small for Skippy to read section. So let me make this bigger. Crashes. Fix a crash that could occur during gameplay. Crash that could occur when navigating menus. A crash that could occur when trying to create a new world or joining a multiplayer game. A crash that could occur when a player has left a multiplayer game. Also, a crash that could occur when signing into a Microsoft account, when switching profiles on Xbox One, when launching the game on Xbox One, when typing certain characters into a sign, when exploring world templates, when choosing certain skins, when breaking a block underneath a detected rail, when creating a new world using some marketplace packs, when exiting the game on Windows 10, when approaching world spawn, crash that could occur when relaunching the game with a global resource pack applied, when accepting the storage permission on Android, when resuming the game on Oculus Rift, when launching the game on Oculus Rift, when typing certain characters into chat. If a split screen player left the game while execute command targeted them in a function. Crash that could occur after a player left the game on 3 or 4 player split screen on the wildlife jungle map. Fix a crash that could occur when leaving and rejoining a world whilst an adult panda is eating bamboo. Yes, an adult one, not a baby one. Fix the freezing that could occur when resuming a game on Windows 10 Mobile. A crash that could occur that affected certain worlds when approaching spawn. Crash that could occur when changing the file storage location on Android devices. Also a crash that could occur on low and mid-end Android devices. Fix a crash that could occur when trying to double tap an item on the beacon screen. Fix a crash that could occur while downloading multiple marketplace items at the same time on some iOS devices, and fixed a crash related to cached resources. So I'm taking a drink of water because this is gonna be a marathon. Holy cow. Very refreshing. So let's keep going here. Performance. Improved world launch time by optimizing network and resource tasks. Improved performance when opening the inventory. Several performance improvements regarding block rendering. Fixed a drop in performance when flying with the Elytra in the end. Optimized terrain light calculation. Optimized grass growth block ticking. So that was weird because they were growing pretty slow and weird before. General, we are being attacked, and I've got a bad feeling about this. Achievements can once again be unlocked. The renewable energy achievement is once again unlockable. The where have you been achievement now unlocks correctly on Android. Maps are now drawn more quickly when exploring, meaning the map room achievement now unlocks more consistently. Fix some instances of skin selections not saving and reverting to Alex or Steve. That happens all the time, man. Not even joking. Fix the multiplayer restricted skin error message that will pop up when you try to join a world before the skin has loaded in. The world loading screen has now closes once an acceptable amount of chunks have loaded. Fixed issues related to unloaded chunks that could appear in realms and local worlds. Partially fixed an issue that caused global resources not be applied after relaunching the game. Minecraft on iOS will no longer show do you want to close Minecraft pop-up since iOS doesn't support that app behavior. Added a new option in accessibility settings that to auto-enable text-to-speech when platform has it enabled. This prevents the screen reader from unexpectedly being enabled each time a game is restarted. Fixed various text-to-speech issues. Players can now switch between user accounts on Xbox One without restarting the game. Fixed the message when trying to import a world template created in a newer version. Fix a controller issue when docking the Nintendo Switch. So we're making a decent ground. We're making okay ground here. Let's keep going. Gameplay. Players in water are now knocked back by TNT explosions. Split screen players now join a world will now spawn in the correct safe place and no longer spawn in the void. Yes. We don't want that. Fixed an issue that could cause some worlds to become corrupted during gameplay. Players now properly receive stored XP from furnaces. That's great. Eating when using another portal no longer causes players to teleport to random locations. Weird interdimensional eating problems. The player can once again open the inventory correctly while sitting in a boat. Using bone meal on a flower now generates more flowers of that type around it rather than just dandelions and poppies. The player now correctly receives Bad Omen effect whenever an Illager captain dies in combat with the player. Fix an issue with block updates on waterlogged blocks, triggering redstone updates in the same chunk. Fire charges launched from dispensers now will ignite minecarts with TNT. The damage sound is no longer heard when a player falls or lands in creative mode. Corrected player sprint swim state when exiting water. Fixed pitch issue with camera that caused player to walk backwards when looking straight up. Players can now teleport on top of non-full or transparent blocks when eating coarse fruit. The camera will now rotate correctly when in third-person view. The player no longer keeps on rowing when opening the inventory during boat rides. That sucks. I thought that was intentional. That was really good. Arrows hitting players underwater no longer play multiple hit sounds. Lightning from channeling tridents now affect more than a single mob in a small area. Lightning now strikes less frequently. That was doing it a lot before, actually. Lightning now strikes, okay. Arrows now destroy armor stands properly. Fixed an issue that prevented players from moving while sneaking on top of shulkers and boats. Area of effect clouds such as lingering potions now work correctly if world is set to always day. Let's keep going. Number 6. So let's go. Oh, this is a big one. Everybody get ready. World generation. Chests now generate in desert temples now face the correct direction. Mobs tweaked drowned despawning rules to help prevent too many being present. Oh my god, they're everywhere. Drown will now despawn if the following conditions are not met. The player is at least 54 blocks away. The drown has not performed any actions in 30 seconds and it is daytime. Iron golems are no longer knocked back by explosions. Fixed the sitting position for baby zombie jockeys. Fixed the death animation of spiders. The wither once again has its blue shield. Lazy pandas no longer float above the ground when lying on their backs. Baby pigs now turn into baby zombie pigmen when struck by lightning. Wow, that's interesting. So villagers now spawn around pillager outposts more frequently because they were like never there. I'm not joking. I would find them all the time. They were empty. Fixed player alignment to beds when sleeping. Zombies can no longer break iron doors. Zombies once again spawn in caves. Village mobs such as iron golems and cats can no longer spawn inside of blocks. Ooh, am I yawning? Skippy, are you yawning? Come on. Ravengers now pathfind through water. Cured zombie villagers now keep their trade level. Jockeys no longer get struck trying to move unreachable mounts. Cod, salmon, tropical fish, and pufferfish now drop XP when killed. Mobs will no longer break turtle eggs when mob griefing is disabled. Mobs can now pathfind correctly through waterlogged blocks. Mobs can now pathfind correctly on unlit campfires. Mobs once again drop armor and equipment as loot, and they also drop fully repaired weapons as loot. So, they no longer drop fully repaired, so it's always going to be damaged. Leads now connect to mobs in the correct position. Mobs no longer attempt to pathfind over 1.5 high block obstacles. Villagers will now all go to sleep correctly at night. Creepers no longer lose aggro when the line of sight is broken briefly. Zombies no longer get stuck on doors. Mobs standing on slabs no longer immune to sunlight damage after reloading the world. Witches can no longer spawn in 1.8 high gaps. Animal breeding cooldowns no longer reset after reloading the world. Endermen holding red sand no longer drop regular sand when killed. So let's keep going. There's another Enderman one next. I remember when I was screenshotting it. No, it isn't. So fix the held stored position for Vex mobs. Entity hit and collision boxes no longer exist during mob death animations. Wither skeletons are no longer affected by the wither effect. Mobs and entities are no longer slowed when walking one block above ice. Baby zombies are now able to ride zombie pigmen. Increase the speed that phantom's wings flap. Drowned on land now attack based on brightness levels rather than time of day. Dolphins once again follow players in boats. I missed that. That's going to be exciting. Nether portals now spawn baby zombie pigmen on easy difficulty because they weren't before. Fix creeper farms by adjusting mob height spawning locations. So creeper farms should work again. I know people were saying that on my video, so that's good. Strays and skeletons now show enchanted bows when held. Villagers now show angry particles when hit by a player, even if they haven't been traded with yet. Players can now be picked up in creative mode using parrots can be picked up using pick block. Mobs can now attack the player correctly while standing on soul sand. Villagers now close doors that have been opened by a player or redstone. Villager trade levels now match Java Edition with 5 profession level badges. Farmers now harvest crops correctly when their inventory is not full. Villagers now hide more consistently during a raid. Fix the toast rabbit Easter egg. Updated mason trades. Fixed the cartographer trade so it now requires 11 glass panes instead of 10. You know, imagine having that on your list of things to do. We need that trade to be 11 and not 10. Beacons now play the correct ambient sound. TNT no longer falls through the blocks when lit. Lava now correctly affects mobs that come into contact with. We're already at 16 minutes, dudes. This is going to be like a half an hour video. Usually this means death. Standing in a cauldron of lava now deals the correct amount of damage to players. It usually means death as well. Falling snow can no longer replace other blocks. Using pick block on lit redstone now gives the player the correct block. Frosted ice no longer causes performance issues when it's waiting to melt underground. Leaves collected with silk touch now stack correctly with other leaves of the same type. Sulker boxes can no longer be placed in the same space as the player. Wood blocks now have the proper directional placement. Jukebox now stop playing music after being broken. So, we're getting there. Let's go. I'm reading faster today, I think. I think my reading speed is up. Furnaces now play all applicable sounds at the correct pitch. The beacon block can now suffocate players and mobs like other opaque blocks, for example, when being clipped into when using a minecart. Hoppers now pick up items from above correctly. Pistons now have the correct texture when placed in any direction. Granite, dorite, and andesite can no longer be smelted into smooth stone. Explosions no longer destroy and drop end gateway blocks. Sneaking on redstone or no longer triggers glow. Anvils now take damage correctly after use. Water being dispensed from a dispenser no longer breaks end portals and gateways. Dispensers now place boats correctly. Falling snow layers no longer breaks blocks in redstone contraptions. Barrier blocks no longer stop grass growth. Farmland blocks once again prevent grass growing underneath. Breaking an extended piston in creative no longer drops an item. TNT can now be crafted from red sand and in addition to plain old regular sand. Campfires can now be doused with splash water potions only to match Java Edition. Coarse dirt is no longer replaced with dirt when a tree is grown on top. Invisible bedrock no longer emits stone particles when fallen on items. Turtle eggs now have the same 2D texture as Java Edition. Buttons no longer appear rotated in the hotbar. The durability bar for shields now updates correctly when sustaining damage. Locked maps now have a unique inventory icon. Enchanted books with 3 or more enchantments no longer always have feather falling 4 and or blast protection 4. Items that have been smelted can now be crafted and stacked correctly for use in furnaces, stone cutters, etc. Arrows will cause sand and gravel to fall again. Splash water bottles once again deal damage to blazes and enderman. Fix trident position issue when being held and thrown. Fix riptide tridents not propelling players forward correctly. Loyalty tridents are now returned to the correct player after bouncing off a shield. Equipment on armor stands now renders correctly if the armor stand is affected by the invisibility effect. The LT controller button can once again be used to quickly equip or replace armor. Players are now able to use items like fishing rods while aiming at nearby mobs. Netherwart now has a chance to drop more items when broken with fortune tools. Let's keep going, man. Only 4 pages left after this one, so let's keep going. We're getting there. Fire aspect swords no longer set creative players on fire. Drinking sound for milk and potions now placed correctly. Trapdoor items now have the correct inventory textures. Six-sided wood block variants can now be smelted or used as furnace fuel. Damaged elytra now have their own texture. Fixed an issue that prevented certain items not being suggested in the recipe book correctly. Items cooked on the campfire now stacked together correctly. Fixed the default recipe for beds. Players can no longer lose items when moving stacks of items into a cartography table. Changed how the bell item is held in a player's hand so that it's held like an item rather than a weapon. Fixed an issue that could cause the home screen to show black corrupted textures after resuming the game on Android. The player model is now visible again while sleeping in a bed. Boat paddling animation now matches Java Edition and resynchronizes when the paddling stops. Fixed an issue with water not rendering correctly on some servers. Fixed an issue that caused block entities such as beds not to render after suspending and resuming the game. Arrows now render correctly when held by armor stands. Armor stands and players can again wear helmets with secondary layers. Fixed elytra positions for skins that don't use the standard humanoid model. Fixed some graphical errors when launching the game on Oculus Rift. Flowers no longer become invisible in flower pots. Players no longer show the flying animation when using scaffolding while elytra are equipped. Improved the texture for the stonecutter with non-fancy graphics. Tweaked first-person hand attack animations. Multiple blocks can no longer change color to black when moved by pistons. Tweaked the position of a shield when held in the offhand to fix minor texture clipping issue. Fixed hand animation when swinging an empty hand from a held item. User interface, guys. Accessibility, color, and contrast fixes and tweaks for drop-downs, buttons, and play screen. The text-to-speech narrator now works correctly with punctuation in text boxes. Players using touchscreens can no longer break blocks when touch to hold to use a fishing rod. Chat instructions no longer appear on screen every time a player travels through a portal. So 3 more after this one. We're getting there, guys. 22 minutes. It'll be about half an hour video, I think. Remove duplicate and overlapping progress bars. Fixed the safe screen area prompt when not appearing when necessary on certain devices. Keyboard inputs now work correctly when the game loads out of focus. Fixed the open chat message for touchscreen devices. Flight controls will no longer show when sleeping in a bed in creative. Fix the inventory screens of some blocks not appearing on the first attempt after the block's state has changed. Like hoppers and dispensers, the Wither's health bar no longer disappears during the fight if the player moves away. Using place all on a cartography table output slot now only crafts as many of the shown result possible. Joining a realm through the joinable friends list no longer shows world info. The background tint of a player's coordinates is now consistent with the chat background. Tweaked the controller cursor position when auto-crafting with the full inventory. Obfuscated text once again works with the smooth font chat setting. Fixed duplicated sign-in messages that were overlapping. The correct marketplace inventory items are now shown when switching between players. Global resource packs and settings will now update to the chosen language. Updated the how to place section so it specifies that carved pumpkins should be used as protection from Enderman. Updated the how to place section about repairing elytra, which now describes using phantom membranes to repair them instead of leather. Updated the how to play section regarding raids. Updated the how to play section regarding host and player options, and also regarding taming cats. So keep on going. Commands, guys. Execute detect command now uses local coordinates correctly. Modified command positions so that optional offset can be specified to move the rotation point in certain of local coordinates. So fix the execute command detect option to correctly use an entity rather than a position so that it can use the entity orientation to calculate camera relative offsets, guys. Using spread players no longer permanently loads distant chunks. Powered rails using /fill now work correctly when powered by redstone. Using the /set block on a piston base no longer leaves an invisible piston arm. Cloned active mob spawners now have an animated mob when placed. So you don't have to fill the spawners anymore. That's good. The /clear command once again works correctly with damageable items. Running the /clear command message now shows correctly amount of items that are removed. So let's keep going down the train here. Carpet is now removed correctly when using the /clear command. Using /clear at P item now correctly clears auxiliary values. Pistons with data values 6 and 7 can no longer be placed using / commands. Players can no longer use the /spawn point command in the nether. Using the command of @s type equals will now work correctly. Fixed an error message that could occur when using the /help command. So we got some script engine stuff and some add-on stuff. Fixed Molang scripting errors that were being logged for older content. Endermen with modifier behaviors can now be shot and damaged with projectiles. Loading packs with lots of custom items now works correctly. Custom writable entities now show the correct action hit when added. Fixed the positioning of articles that were only showing correctly when centered on the screen. The timer component once again functions on vanilla projectiles. Fixed an issue with the must-see forget duration component not working. Fixed humanoid eating animation. Fixed the scale component failing to scale certain entities. Running the tick world component now removes ticking areas correctly and consistently. Added stone slab aliases to allow backwards compatibility on add-on packs. The spawn entity component is now executed when the entity is being ridden. Gas no longer keep looking at players if the behavior component has been removed. That's only like the third time I clear my throat. Holy cow. Fixed minecart rider rotation not being updated correctly in some packs. Particle UVs no longer include lines of texture. Custom entities using nearest attackable target now reevaluate current target validity. Fixed mini bows rendering on all mobs other than players in scripting packs. The has equipment filter now works correctly with damageable items. Fixed a scripting error that would appear when shooting arrows from a dispenser. When a global resource pack is deleted, it will now remove itself from the active stack. So map makers and add-on creators updated templates for 1.13 with new resources, behaviors, documentation, and example packs can be downloaded from aka this place right here. Brewing stand potion recipes are now data driven. Arrow shake animation, item breaking particles, data driven environment for damage for entities. Added push component that determines whether an entity can be pushed. Added persistent component that determines whether an entity should be persistent in the... So we're going to go to the next one. It was so many of them. We're only 2 left, guys. This is the second to last one. We're at 30 minutes, so we did good. Pufferfish states are now data-driven. Elder Guardian, Guardian animation and rendering. Fixed unparented geometry on pre-1.8 Guardians. Elder Guardians spike animation. Fishing hook. Horse models and animation. Snow golem trail behavior. Dragon's breath particles. Sparkler particles, an EDU edition, and balloons. So script engine, actor definition events can now be triggered from scripts. Scripting logs can now be opened and viewed while game is running. Added new scripting actor tags. Added container scripting component for blocks. Added projectile hit. Added entity hurt, entity sneak, entity attack, and block exploded scripting event. Added new feature rules that implements existing biome decoration through JSON. Final infrastructure changes required to support fully data-driven features. Rules themselves must be provided in a behavior pack with experimental gameplay enabled. Significantly increased maximum spawn radius distance. Levers now have their own block state. Changed breathable, ride tick, and transformation systems to use viewed entity context. All pillar blocks now have their own state, and instead of using some values of the direction, this allows mirror and rotating with structure block. Changes to pack manifest summary as of 1.13 have made some changes to pack manifest with new format version of 2. We recommend that any new packs or world templates you create use format version of 2 from now on. With this new format, there are a few additional changes to be aware of, detailed below. All pack types, the name field is the header is now required for all pieces of content. World template this is the last page. Come on, we're so stoked. The lock template options field is now required. Boolean field determines whether the world options for your template should be locked or default player values created from world template. They can still choose to unlock and modify the options, but will be warned of doing so could affect gameplay. The base game version field is required. The min engine version field should no longer be used if it isn't parsed on a world template and produces a warning on import. So resource and behavior packs, the min engine version field is now required. The effects on how the game interprets some of the assets loaded from resource and behavior packs, we recommend using the latest available version for this field, 1-1, whatever, you guys got that one, to ensure the pack works correctly. Base game version field. So for this field, we recommend using the value of star. This will ensure that anyone using your content for their Minecraft worlds will always get the latest base game content when an update is available. In this case, that your client relies on a specific game behavior, you can use this field for an ocelot, for example. You guys can read that one. I ain't reading it, guys. 31 minutes of me talking. Okie dokie. So we're in the world. Let's just start looking at stuff. So guys, we got foxes. That's what everybody waited half an hour to watch this. But if anything, they could pick stuff up. They could pick stuff up like this. They could jump around. They're going to go for little naps everywhere. And in addition, if you feed them berries, you can find, let's see, I might as well take the time. It's actually pretty straightforward. I get most of the stuff because this is basically all the beta videos that I made mixed together into one update. So that's, I think, why it's so long. Hey. So yeah, so these guys here, I think you got to give 2 of them. And then if they make a baby, then the fox that they make is going to be a fox that's trustworthy, that loves you. Baby, there you go. And there you go. So I think they're going to make a baby right here. Did we catch it? Long story short, foxes need to make a, there it is. So this fox right here is going to be like your fox. You could literally, this is going to be your baby fox right here. He's pretty quick. So when he grows up, he's going to be trustworthy and he's going to be like your fox. Number 2, let's keep going. We're going to go over Mooshrooms. That's another one. Actually, let's go here. Structure blocks are right here. You're going to have to give yourself the /give command. And you can notice we have structure blocks here. When you go into them, basically, this is what's going to happen. I'm going to give you the fast version of this. These might get their whole entire own video, but you make something. This structure block will now represent that thing. So if you want to make yourself a huge house somewhere, then you could make copies of that house by just simply placing a structure block and then saying, bang. So you're going to save it into your files. It's going to be there, and then bang, you can just place another house, place another house, place another house. That's as easy as that. So light block here is another one. You're going to give yourself a /give. It's another one /give. And you do light block, and then the thing that it doesn't tell you is you have to put /give at self. So you have to give it a number after. So if you give yourself /give at self light block, don't just put in light block. You're gonna see put light block and then make a space and then put a number between 1 and 15, I believe. These ones in my hand, I believe, are 10s. I'm not sure that it actually shows. Okay, so you have to give a number to it. I'm not sure that I actually did it right. I just gave myself 10, but that's what it's going to do. And it's for map makers so that you can have something emanate light. So like if you wanted there to be light at the bottom of this tree, you would like hammer these guys off and then bango bingo, they would glow. Stuff would glow. You would be happy. I love the foxes sitting over there. So character creator. This is a big deal. Everybody's loving it. Even the people on a Java edition are saying they want this. I don't know why, because they can make their skins for free. Yeah, so this one here is the edit character. I don't even know how I got this character, but you can see there's capes even now. So you got capes. Let's go here. Bang, founder's cape. That's good. Let's go over here. So purchasable. So these are going to be, those are skins that are purchasable. So let's go in here. Body, base. So base. So you only get a few of the different types at the end of the day. It's going to take a while to load here. I'm already seeing what's going on here. So let's do this. Yeah, it's pretty loaded up. I hope that it's not let's do this. Let's do mouth. So you see the different styles of mouth. They're mostly free for the most part. So you can see we could just switch the mouth. We can switch this. Can have a big mouth, and yeah, most of these are ready to go, and it looks pretty much ready to go. But there are ones that cost mine coins, as you can see on the bottom corner here. If you want a large smile, so here's a good example is Yeah, it's gonna be big bucks. Long story short, I'm not even gonna get into it, but all of these crazy faces are pretty pricey. You're gonna have 40 coins left over, so it's like it's over $2 for just this smile. So I'm not gonna get into it. I'm not that guy that's gonna like gripe and argue about it, but I just think it's pretty expensive if you ask me. However, I do like having a beard on my character, and yeah, so it's a pretty good thing. I think at the end of the day, in the olden days, we used to just do this for free on Java Edition. So there's my character. Let's leave. Oh, that's who I have to use now. Is that real? Is that real? Oh my gosh. I'm a bearded Alex with a crazy smile. Okay, so let's see what else we got here. So foxes, structure blocks, light blocks. So brown mushrooms is another thing. So let's do this. Slash weather thunder. Slash weather thunder. So when it does this, I'm actually prepared because I have a channeling trident right here, so you can see us turn a brown mushroom. In addition to this, let's go over here and show you wither roses. Wither roses are going to happen whenever something dies from the wither. Whenever something dies from the wither, it gets left on the ground, and it's pretty interesting. They also hit you if you touch them. They're not good for you, but either way, they're beautiful, and yeah, that's gonna be left over. Let's go like this. And hopefully we don't get pigment. So you can see these mushrooms right here, they were red and now they're brown, so they've turned to brown mushrooms. So basically what you want to do is, let's go see, is there a bowl right here? So what you want to do is feed them a flower and a bowl and get your mushroom. I hope I do this right. When the first time I did the beta video, I made a silly mistake. So let's do this. Let's grab a bowl. So from what I gather, we're gonna go ahead and give this guy this wither rose. Let's give a wither rose. So you can see we got our suspicious stew. So suspicious stew, if you eat it, it's going to give you effect. That's not the best effect, and yeah, so yeah, there's different ones for different things, and hopefully you can see I got an effect. So yeah, pretty much that simple. That's most of the stuff that there is. Foxes, wither roses. In addition, everybody wants this one here. I know everybody wants this one here. Let's do this, and let's go ahead and grab this. So item frames on the floor, item frames on the ceiling is a big deal. I know that tons of people want that, so let's go like this, and now you can put item frames on the floor. How awesome is that? Let's go like this. And item frames on the ceiling. So that's easy enough. In addition, we can also do that with buttons. I'm not sure. I don't think you could do it before with buttons, but now you can. I'm not sure. But you can also put things in them. Light blocks and done. And yeah. So guys, how is that? How do you like this? Hey, a 40-minute slash weather clear. So yeah, a 40-minute changelog, guys. 1.13 is out now. I'm gonna head over and I'm gonna check out some dupe glitches and make sure everything works in that sense. And yeah, don't forget to smash that like before you go. Don't forget as well to subscribe to my channel for yeah, cool tutorials, let's plays, and stuff. Thanks a lot for tuning in, and I'll catch you on the next one.